I can see the model now, finally, in my mind, of the solar system and how it works in terms of spheres and dot points of light. I've always known the Earth is the centre of the universe. 5 years, 6 years. It was obvious when you looked at the way that the force-based model that you derive from the Earth and the Moon derives a yin-yang force shape. And therefore that there's a driving force that's creating that, and it's the universe rotating relative to the rotation of the Earth. So the Earth goes around once, everything else does a rotation relative to that once, part of a rotation. In terms of orbits, can you see it? And so then it's about trying to say, well, so that the force of the sun exists as a sphere around us of plasma that you see reflected in the dot point of light. So that the disaster that you currently see on the surface of the sun is the sphere that's around us. It's really damaged. So can you see this massive sphere of plasma sun that you see, just make it into a huge sphere that's the size of the orbit that it describes around us once a year. That's the size of the sphere. There's a dot point that we see over there on the two-dimensional horizon because of the forces, creates a wave breaking, and we see the tube of the wave break there. Around that dot point, there you have Mercury and Venus as two spheres. And Mercury, the crazy heat, and then Venus, the magical glowing orb of bright white light. And so that sits on the sphere over there. Can you see it? And it's the centroid of bending existing outside the mass, replicated in the cosmic scale. So down here on Earth, it's a tiny buzz of static, measured by H Planck's constant. Now we're seeing what that does in cosmological scale. That's just spheres inside spheres, and it's an eye. So the surface of the sun is the eyeball, and then you have the pupil created from Venus, Mercury, dot point of sun in terms of force and light. Mercury and Venus we see as their dot points then on the orbits that they describe. So we see them going around the sun, their dot points, but they're reflected back to us. Can you see? But they exist as force, as the spheres that they are. And now the Earth's at the center of the eyeball with the focus. And now you go out to Mars and you see the rocky surface. Do you? Do you see a rocky surface? But you see Mars. That's a sphere now around that whole thing. And then you see Jupiter, and then you get to Saturn. Now Saturn is the center of the universe at the moment because of those supporting rings. So those massive supporting rings are the orbit around this sun system that we set up. Massive. Saturn. That's how massive it has to be currently to sustain the universe in balance, flat, so that the Earth, the universe is rotating around Saturn, and then Saturn is rotating around us. It's intervened in the power system. The true center of the universe is the Earth, surface of the Earth, and the creatures that live here have to live as the center of the universe to really understand God. If they really understand God gnostically through Christ, taking Christ as their king, living as moral, self-policed, excellent people, balance is restored to the ether, into the thought at the center of the universe. So it's all spheres with centroids of bending outside of spheres, reflecting back the final one, the final sphere. At the center is you, the twist that's replicated in the cavitation, inside the cavitation of the final sphere that's around the Earth, that develops the atmosphere, the Goldilocks zone between the surface of water and the ionosphere. There is the center of the universe is replicated. So everybody and everything is the center of the universe. And that's how God exists everywhere. You have to realize that. You're manifesting God. The thoughts that you have are God's thoughts. He just wants you to choose good ones. He's sick of the pornography and the paedophilia and the Satanism. It's not acceptable. We, the people of this planet system, do not accept Satanism. Expunge it and expose it, please. We have the model of the solar system. I'll go home and draw it. I wish you luck. Welcome to the future. Fade out.